Yeah. Hello, my name is Juan Aldapa. I'm currently senior at Harmony School of Excellence in Rio, and my project was the evaluation of the combustion efficiency of E85. So first and foremost, what is E85? E85 is a blend of ethanol and an 85% and a 50% of gasoline. This blend has gained a lot of significance over the years due to its low pricing as well as to its easier access for production. With this, I mean that it is way cheaper to produce, as this fuel, or biofuel as I would like to call it, is produced from the fermentation and distillation of regular corn, which it is just awesome that you can produce a fuel just from corn. Something you can purchase at HEB at Walmart that you can consume, that you can make it a fuel. So first and foremost, what I examined on this project was the overall performance of this fuel on an internal combustion engine. In this case, I used a 212 cubic centimeter one-cylinder gas engine. So first and foremost, I also compared it with regular gasoline and with E85. So let's begin with the things. So the first thing I examined with this engine was, mostly with the fuel, it was its air-fuel ratio. So in order to accomplish an optimal reaction, yes. All right. So in order to accomplish an optimal reaction process or combustion reaction process, you require to have a specific air-fuel ratio. What that means is how much air the fuel is gonna be entering in the mix, as to have an optimal combustion of a fuel. It can be either for gasoline, either for ethanol, alcohol, any type of thing that can be considered a fuel. Requires to have a kind of specific air-fuel ratio. So as for example, with gasoline it's around 15 to 1 approximately, and with E85 or pure ethanol is approximately around 10 to 1, which in the first glance you're gonna be seeing that for ethanol you're gonna be requiring less air into the mixture or into the combustion chamber, as in comparison with gasoline that you're gonna be requiring more of more air or more oxidizer or oxygen. And also something important to note out about ethanol is that you also require, on its chemical formula, it already has incorporated oxygen. So really, gasoline doesn't have, as it is C8H18, and ethanol is just C2H6O. So it already has oxygen. So the thing for accomplishing that is that on this engine, I just made an extremely simple modification. I added this modification due to the low air-fuel ratio, or that it is a lower air-fuel ratio for ethanol or E85 than for gasoline, is that I need to just reduce the air intake of the combustion into the combustion chamber. So from there, I just reduced it with a simple metal plate, or it's actually aluminum plate, just to reduce the air intake and have an optimal combustion process into the place. As already ethanol has oxygen incorporated into its molecular bond, and due to the fact that it doesn't have, due to the fact that E85, it's kind of almost pure ethanol, not pure ethanol, but it's an 85%, which it is almost very close to 100. It's kind of the quite similar air-fuel ratio, which for 85 I calculated it, and it was around 10.75 approximately the air-fuel ratio, which is, there's not a big difference from the 10 to 1 ratio for ethanol and the 10.75 to 1 of E85. So there's really not that much change. So from there I tested both fuels. So here on my engine I placed a cylinder head temperature sensor that it was connected with an Arduino, and then that Arduino was connected, in my laptop it was connected to a plotter as to plot the temperature values for each of the test fuels. So on my results, the temperature for ethanol or E85 was a little bit more higher than with gasoline. So really gasoline was really more around 980 Celsius, and 85 got up to 1500 Celsius. So there was really a large difference, which that also means, based on some calculations I performed, was that also E85 releases more energy due to its enthalpy change from the combustion process. It releases around 88.93 kilojoules, whereas gasoline releases around 74.54, somewhere around there, kilojoules, which also means that this particular fuel releases more energy when it is combust, which is something I also noted, as there was a kind of slight slightly higher sound of the when this fuel was used on this engine, whereas with regular gasoline was used there. And also, in addition, prior making some testing with the combustion chamber, I also evaluated or simulated actually how would E85 or ethanol would really work out. So I made a code using Arduino and using also some partial differential equations, such as Navier-Stokes equation and also mass conservation equations, for really calculating how would really ethanol behave. So for example, as seen here on this program in Python, it is really simulating how is ethanol really combusting, or how much the temperature is changing or fluctuating between the values. So also, I made another program on Python that simulates the combustion reaction for for ethanol, as this example. I also made one for gasoline. So really, there's also a very much more difference of the concentration of the molar mass of each item that's released after the combustion process. So really, the differential equations I used, it was the mass conservation, species conservation, momentum equation, which is sometimes referred as a Navier-Stokes equation, then the energy equation, or conservation of energy, as more referred. And then from there, yeah, it's pretty much expressed as the partial differential equations for really the change of any item on the X, Y, and Z direction. And finally, my conclusions were that E85 is pretty much or even I would say a more better alternative than regular gasoline, due to the fact that it releases more energy. It costs way less than gasoline, and yet it's proven, or based on my tests, I proved that it really, with this little modifications that I did with this engine, it really proved to work just perfectly. Which that means that E85 can really be a very great alternative biofuel. So it is produced from ethanol fermentation and distillation. It's a very simple process. It's not really going to take a lot of time, well, just a month. But compare that also with the energy that's used for producing gasoline. You're required to extract it from the ground. You're required to refine that particular mixture, and from there, that's pretty much it. Whereas with ethanol, you just pretty much get the grains, ferment them, distill them, and then you pretty much have ethanol. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you really learned something with this project, and ultimately see the significance of how ethanol is really improving our lives overall, and also how we can, up to a future, change really how the way we generate electricity, the way we transport it, and all of those things. So thank you so much. My name is Have a great day.